Hello, Care Bear here to share with you these cute puppy mittens. These mittens are by Jenny Penny, and I made these Frenchy mittens before for another family member, and then I went on to Jenny's site, found a whole bunch of other mittens that she's done for pugs, and decided to mix the two to create a set for a friend who has these two little guys, two little brothers in her world. So let me tell you about the heartwarming Frenchies and the Pug and Kisses. These are patterns by Jenny Penny. The Frenchie mittens are a free pattern, and she has a number of pug patterns. This is Pug and Kisses, and this pattern is a purchase pattern, but it's really reasonably priced. It's about half the price of any other mittens that I have found. So check out Jenny Penny's website and yeah, look at the great mittens that you can create. So these mittens have such beautiful detail. Like check out the cuff here. Plus she's integrated the two colors, the main color and the contrast color, into this extended cuff. Then you go on to the body with all these beautiful hearts. You've got some great texture and vertical lines at the side, some texture and the pug paw there, and then finishing on the front with these great pieces of these Frenchies. So all you need is fingering weight yarn. It calls for a US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter needle and fingering weight yarn. And I'll tell you what yarn I use to create these. I actually used a 2.25 millimeter needle when I did this pattern, and I followed the structure of the Frenchie because I had made it before, so I thought it would be easy to do it again. And all I did was change when I got to the Frenchie piece. I used the pug pattern that I had purchased and put the pug face over here, but I used the structure of the heartwarming Frenchie mittens. So the yarn that I used is a fingering weight yarn that I picked up while I was in Copenhagen, in March when I was traveling with a friend who's going to receive these. I was traveling with her, and I actually bought this yarn to make another family member Harry Potter mittens, which I can show you here on the screen. And this yarn is a Navia Uno, and it's chocolate brown, which is number 16, and I used 17 grams of that chocolate brown. And the blue is 161 blue. It's kind of a turquoisey blue, and I used 19 grams of that, which was left over from the Harry Potter mittens. This is 100% Shetland wool with Australian lamb's wool, so they're going to be super warm for the winter. So let me tell you a little bit about the construction. As I said, I used the Heartwarming Frenchies pattern for the construction, and it starts from cuff and you knit up to the finger decreasing at the top, and then you pick up and put on the thumb. So what I had done was I started with that cuff pattern, which I think is so pretty with the um, pointed edges there, plus that lovely little bit of lace in there. And it looks complicated, and really it's a 2 round repeat, super, super simple. Then, if you're following her pattern, she starts this next section with a Latvian braid. I did that with the last ones, but I decided to leave the Latvian braids out. And the Latvian braids in the last one are before the color mixture here and after the color mixture. There is a bit of a lacy yarn over line right before I did that color knitting. I'm not sure if you're going to see it, but I did do that. And then I did a knit one of the main color, knit one of the contrast color for a number of rows. I think she suggests half the number, but because I didn't put in the Latvian braid, I did double the amount of ribbing right in that section. Then I did that lacy line and went into the chart work for the Frenchy mitten. And the chart work is so lovely. On the one side, you're doing this pattern piece, and on the other side, you're incorporating all these different hearts in that chart. So I just continued with the body right up until you have to put the thumb on hold. And to put the thumb on hold, I use a piece of barber cord. And the reason I do that is because it's so easy to slide the needle into that tubing and then put the stitches on hold. And then when I'm ready to pick it up again, it's really easy to slot the needle into, again, the end of the tubing and push the stitches back onto the needle. So I love using this barber cord for holding stitches. So I knit up until the thumb, put the thumb on hold, and then continued with the chart. And when I'm working with the chart, I divide the chart, and maybe I'll put in a picture of it, but I divide the chart with vertical lines for the number of stitches that I have on the needles. So if I've divided this onto 4 needles, I'll have 3 vertical charts separating those 4 sections so that when I finish to start a new needle, I should be at that point in the chart and it's easier to go back track if I've made any mistakes. So that's one thing that I do. And then I highlight in the chart every time I do a round or a row so that it makes it really easy to know where I'm at in the pattern. Plus, it's helps to focus just on that single row or round of knitting and helps me to be more successful with the project. Anyway, so then I continued on and created that beautiful Frenchy motif. And when I get to the point of decreasing, you're decreasing on the front and on the back side of the mittens, both at the left and the right. And it's a slip, slip, knit and a knit two together. And you're decreasing every other line till you get to the top and you have the 3 stitches that create that trim and the 3 stitches on the other side that create the trim, 1 in between, so you have 8 stitches, and you put them onto a darning needle and pull them through. Then you have to go back to pick up for the thumb and put the thumb on the needles, pick up a number of stitches in the front, and then knit the thumb in the round, creating that nice line trim color that you have on the edge of the mittens. You have that on the edge of the thumb as well. You're creating those little hearts, and then you're decreasing again, right and left on that thumb, and then pulling the last few stitches through. I'll show you what the inside looks like because I have debated whether or not I will make a lining. I'm going to actually gift these tomorrow to my friend. So there's the inside of the mitten just to show you. It's pretty tightly. I don't have too many large floats. I try to keep it down to 3 or 4 max. So I don't think I need a lining, but I'm going to let her try them on and see what she thinks. I don't think she needs it for warmth, but she might need it so that her rings don't get caught on those floats in the back. So then I picked up to do the next mitten and followed exactly the same structure as the first, doing that cuff, doing the main color and contrast color in the extended cuff, doing that lacy row before and after that contrast coloring section, and then into the chart. I had then stopped, I put the thumb on hold, but then I stopped at this point. I knew at the end of the heart was when was going to need to start the pug. But I made a mistake And I actually started right here. And if you look closely, that was the tips of the ears of the Frenchie. And I realized what I was doing, so I quickly stopped. And then I just tried to do some kind of cute little motif there. Um, and then I waited, and when I got down to the end of the heart, I then started in with the pug knits. And I didn't incorporate anything on the side. You'll see with the Frenchie, there was some um, incorporation of the contrast color here. I didn't do that with the pug um, until I was finished with the actual face of the pug. And then I did put a little bit of that contrast color in. I kept this backside the same with the pug paw, and yeah, that's what I did to make the pug. But here's the cute thing. On the Pug and Kisses mittens, on the thumb, look what Jenny Penny has done. She has the word pug. How crazy cute is that? So I did make sure when I picked up for the thumb of this one, I made sure that I put in the word pug on that pug mitten. So those are the heartwarming Frenchies and the pug mittens. I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to share. Um, I would, if you like these puppy type mittens, I would highly recommend that you take a look at Jenny Penny's website. She's a Swedish knitter, and she's got great mittens and socks. And if this is something of interest, definitely check out her website. These are the Frenchies and the pugs. I can't wait to gift these. Thanks for listening.